Hello, I'm Tripti Nakhare from FDC Ltd, which is a pharma company. I work with FDC as a Senior General Manager, Regulatory Affairs and Packaging Development. Yeah, the issue of counterfeit and spurious drugs is really big in the Indian market and in the export market. So the export market care has been taken because the Indian DGFT has been implemented at the secondary and tertiary levels. So the supply chain is secure and is being tracked, and we are also uploading on the Dawa portal all the consignments that are being exported out of the country. As regards the domestic market, it still remains a grey area because talks are on to introduce barcoding for the domestic packs also, but not yet implemented. And the government came up with a voluntary request that 300 top brands of pharma companies were requested to come up with some solutions of maybe a quick response code, QR code, or some form of authentication which would, help prevent this counterfeit or spurious. So the work is on those lines also, but there is no consistent approach as of now. So the deliberation is still on in the industries, because the issue with all of these solutions is that they are a little complicated and they do disturb the line speeds, they do disturb the productivity, and we need to really try and find out a good solution, especially for the primary packs, because it's easily done on the secondary or the tertiary. And in India, the difference is that we dispense primary even as a single blister or a single strip, or sometimes even a single ampule, to the patient. So be able to track that every single item, you need to have some form of a code or a barcode or a QR code, even on that small little pack. And that is a challenge that we today also do not have an answer for. So the service providers are trying to develop something which could, because 2D barcodes, as soon as you form the blisters or you make the strips, there is knurling, there are impressions, so it gets distorted, it gets disturbed, it's not read correctly. So that is a challenge, and so we really need to find some solution to this for the primary packs. But yeah, secondary and tertiary, even for the domestic markets, it's feasible. Yeah, the advantages of doing a track and trace is certainly your supply chain gets secure, and right from the manufacturer to the end point where you are supplying your medicines, there is a traceability. So if you have a complaint tomorrow on any of your packs, you can identify that yes, it does belong to your organization or not. Because today, like I said, the spurious market is far more advanced in all of these cases. So there is certainly going to be an advantage. We do it for some of our packs. We are doing an SMS authentication feature where we put unique numbers on each of these primary packs, and there's a mobile number which we say, if you want to know if the pack is genuine, dial on this mobile number. So again, here it's the customer awareness or the awareness of the patients or the doctors or the users to use these things to their advantage. But it is helping us. We just decided to do this for one of our top brands, Ziffy 200, and we've been doing it for last 3-4 years. So we do see that people are beginning to authenticate the products, but I think it's still a little way off. I mean, that awareness needs to be built more. Globally, we already have the DACSA Act implemented in November 2017 for the US market, and the Falsified Medicine Directive for the Europe market, which became effective from February 2019. So there in the US, again, the entire supply chain is secured. We are supposed to print right from the first pack to the tertiary packs, and this entire data is uploaded on a portal for each distributor, and this is tracked right up to the last person who receives the consignment. So the onus is not just on the pharmaceutical manufacturer. So there are it's called 5 levels, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, where every single part of the supply chain is aware, is secure, and they are feeding their inputs into the whole system. Similarly, for the Falsified Medicine Directive, they, apart from putting a unique code on the packs, they are also expecting a tamper evidence feature, which clearly tells you that the pack has been tampered with. So there are various options given in their guidelines. So one simple thing is like applying tapes, which when you remove, indicate that the pack has been tampered with. Or you could have glued cartons. When you break open, you cannot, easily seal them back. So these are systems which are implemented in these two major countries. China is also coming up with their guidelines. Russia has its own guidelines for track and trace. So globally also, all the countries are moving towards securing the supply chain, because I think the counterfeit and spurious problem is across the world. Yeah, like I said, FDC Limited was one of the few companies who even implemented the Indian DGFT in the stipulated time that we were expected to do. And the other example which I gave for the domestic market is the brand Ziffy 200, which we are securing with the SMS authentication. So that's just an effort from our side to try and see how we can secure our supply chain. And we are working for another product, Electral, also on these lines, trying to see if the QR codes can be put on the packs. And each QR code will have a unique number. So, if anybody scans the QR code, they get the information whether the product is genuine or not. So work is in progress on that also. Yeah, this is, the government is talking about it. A draft notification was issued some time back, but it's not mandated as of now. So the pharma industry is waiting to see what happens. So in terms of a system, yes, it will certainly secure and it will help. But like I said, there are challenges to overcome all these issues and meet the requirement.